Hello and a good morning, good afternoon and a very good evening to you. We're going to people of the tube. Hope today, hope you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. Hello everybody. Today's vid, everybody, we're going to talk about all the gear I've bought with me to France and why I've bought it. I'm not going to spend hours and hours and hours talking about one thing because I've got a lot to get through. So I'm going to crack on. So without further doodles, let's go. So first guitar I'm going to show. Well, we'll talk about guitars first, then we'll talk amps, and then we'll talk pedals. So. First guitar I'm going to show you today is my first ever Oswald. This guitar has, well, I've bought all my Oswalds because where I am, they need to be. I just love them. I can't be without them. You know, they're like my white Strat. I just can't be without that guitar. You know, it's just one of those things. So the first one I bought, well, the first one we're going to talk about today is my, you know, the first ever one that Nick bought me. And this guitar is just... I don't even have the words to explain how gorgeous and amazing this guitar is. And I love the fact, because it's a nitro finish, this guitar is only from 2017, but it's really, really starting to wear in. You know, I'm starting to go through the lacquer on the fingerboard. It's starting to show, you know, dints, dents, and wear all over it. It looks a lot older than it actually is. The scratch plate's actually discoloured. I don't think the camera will be able to pick it up. Oh, there we go. You can see the scratch plate's actually kind of gone like a orange, like a browny kind of colour. It's gone the same colour as the burst almost. It's bizarre. It's just UV exposures dyed it off. But I love this guitar so much. It's absolutely unreal. It really is. It's got evil sheep pickups. It originally came... When Nick built this originally, it had Seymour Duncan SSL 1s in it, but I didn't get on with the SSL 1s, so I've changed them now. These are evil sheep pickups. They're 50s reissue pickups, basically, hand wound, and they're just it just sounds amazing. It's just what a Strat sound, yeah. Anyway, and also when in the new year in 2021, we're gonna do a road trip to visit. Finally, we're gonna do a road trip and visit Mr. Nick Oswald himself. And this is a guitar that's gonna be coming with me because I want to take this one because this is the first one. I want to take this back and let him see it and see how it's aging and see how it's wearing and stuff like that. And I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. So I'm really looking forward to that road trip. It should be really, really good fun. So yeah, it's going to be wicked. And I can't wait to finally meet Nick in person. I really cannot wait for that day. It's going to be so cool. Anyway, so this is guitar number one that I've bought because it's just... I just love it so much. It's such an attachment. It's such a great guitar. Everything, you know, it's such an awesome guitar, this. The neck, the way it plays, the way it sounds. Everything about this guitar is just ridiculously perfect. So that's why this is here. I couldn't leave it behind. I could not leave this guitar behind. It had to come with me. I love it so much. So this is guitar number one, everybody. Let's move on to guitar number two. Okay, guitar number two is my Oswald Tele. Again, a guitar that I couldn't leave behind. This is the only Telecaster I own. And it's really the only Telecaster I need to own because it's just my dream in Telecaster form. It really is perfect. Again, another Oswald. I love the fact that all my four Oswalds have all different logos. So the Oswald number one has a different logo to this one, and then my John Strat has a different logo to the red one. They're all different, and I love that. It's so cool. It's like transition. It's Oswald transition logos. It's great. So, but this guitar is amazing. I absolutely adore this Telecaster. I've got it in open C. Just sings. This guitar, to quote my friend Ian, is just music. It really is, and it looks really. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but it's really worn in. I do have a close-up vid of this actually. A close-up vid of this actually. Get your English out, Dave. God, I'm clever. Anyway, but yeah, this is just like this is the Telecaster I always wanted, and because I don't really play Telecasters a great deal, this is the only one I really need. It really is. And I just love it so much. It's just a stunning, stunning guitar. And I'm forever grateful to Nick for these guitars because they're just beyond anything I ever thought I would ever be able to own. You know, and this had to come with me because if I need a Telecaster, you know, if I'm recording a song, I need a Telecaster, or if I'm going to a jam, or if I join a band or whatnot and I need a Telecaster sound, I need my Tele. You know, and also for doing demos of gear as well, you know, got to have a Telecaster, you know, because Telecaster Strats, Les Pauls, 335s, that's the kind of like, they're the kind of like the guitars that everyone knows the sound of, and Tele is just such a mainstay of the electric guitar. You need at least one in your arsenal of guitars. But I love this guitar so much, it had to come with me. I couldn't, again, another one I just couldn't leave behind, because it's just unreal, this guitar is. I love it so much. There's not one thing about this guitar I would change. There's literally not one thing. So, moving on, next guitar. Okie dokie doo-dah day. Next guitar, everybody, is my, again, we're going to go through the Oswalds first by the seams of it, because that's where I've started. So, the next guitar is my Oswald John Frusciante replica Strat. I really have a massive attachment to this guitar because Nick built the neck and the body, but I assembled it. You know, and I like that. So Nick built the neck and the body, but I put the whole thing together and wired it up and that and the other. So this was a real joint venture between me and Nick, this guitar, and I relicked it as well. So this is my little relic job. And funny enough, it's getting more and more relicked. I don't know why. He's not funny. He's not funny. What does he try? I don't know. Maybe one day we'll figure this out. Anyway. But again, another guitar I couldn't leave behind. Being the John Frusciante freak that I am, I have to have my John Strat. And again, this guitar feels, plays, and just is amazing. And this is my 62 away from my 62, because the 62 Strat hasn't joined me on this journey, and I'll explain why at the end. But the neck on this is modelled on my 62, and it's pretty much identical. You know, it's got the center, kind of the off-center seam of the body. This is my 62 Strat away from my 62 Strat. This is the closest guitar I have to my 62, and every time I pick it up, it just reminds me of it, which is definitely awesome, and I love it. And again, it had to be here because it's my John Strat, you know, and there's the man himself. But yeah. Love it. Absolutely love this guitar. Plays amazingly, sounds amazingly, is just unreal. I just love it so much. So, yeah, this had to come. There's no way I was going to leave this at home. So, that's the next guitar that's come with me, and that's why. Because I just could. In all fairness, the story's the same with all these guitars that I've got here, apart from a few which I've bought kind of like, you know, for certain reasons. But a lot of these guitars that come with me just because I just couldn't bear to be without them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the other two, you know, most of the ones you'll see, I just can't bear to be without these guitars. These are kind of the ones that kind of like, you know, if all the other ones had to go that were back in England had to go, these are the ones that would be left over, basically. Well, apart from one which didn't come, and I wish I'd bought, and I didn't. But I have a reason for that. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, yeah, Oswald John Frusciante Strat replica. Love this guitar. Sounds amazing. Is amazing. Just fantastic guitar. Love it to bits. Next guitar. You all know this guitar. This is my favourite Oswald to date. This is the... this is just my... I don't have the words to describe this guitar. I really don't have the words to describe how much I love it and how attached I am to this guitar. I honestly didn't... I didn't expect to be as pulled in to this guitar as some of my others. Like, I thought, you know, it'd been a hardtail. I mean, I requested the hardtail because I wanted something different, you know, but this guitar is just, you know, till the end of my days, this guitar will be in heavy circulation with me. And I just love it so much. So, Nick, this is just ridiculous, this guitar. And I just love it so much. It's just so unreal. You know, all the other guitars that I've got, you know, unreal as well. But certain ones sit above. Like my white Strat, the 62, you know, certain others. But, and this one's right up there with the white Strat, the 62. And also another guitar, which we'll get to in a minute. Which, again, was totally unexpected, the other guitar, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But when this guitar arrived, I mean, I wanted a hardtail for something different, but every time I play it, I don't miss the trem. I really don't miss it. I mean, I love tremolos. I really do. Being a Hendrix John nut, I really love tremolos. But it not being there doesn't make me kind of go, oh, I wish I had asked for a trem. I just love it, regardless of, you know, no trem. And it really is one of those guitars that I just couldn't bear to be without. You know, this is one of those top three. You know what I mean? This is one of those top three guitars. And I just love it so much. You know, I really do. I mean, and all this as well. Like I say, the dark patch you see there, that's the initial extent of the relic that Nick had done on this guitar. All this is me chewing away at it because, again, I was going through a breakup with my long-term partner at the time, and this guitar came along at that point in November when it was all still very fresh, and I think it was November, and it just basically caught it all. But because of that, it helped me, and because of that help, it's now literally one of my all-time favourite guitars, and I just love it so much. And again, it's one of those guitars that I just couldn't bear to be without. This had to be with me, had to come. No ifs, no buts. And it's just so perfect. You know, I mean that's a bold statement, but it really is literally one of the most perfect guitars I've ever played in my life. This red Strat. There's just something about it. There really is. And Nick, I'll be forever grateful for this guitar to you, because it is just beyond my wildest dreams, this guitar. It really is absolutely stunning. It's perfect. This is a perfect guitar. So, enough gushing on this one. Let's move on to the next one, which you'll know as well. Okay, people of the tube, you know this one. Again, how I couldn't leave England without my white #1 Strat. Like I say, this guitar has been my #1 guitar since I got it in 2004, and nothing's ever going to change the fact that this is the guitar I judge all others by. You know, in tone. Reverb, give me a moo moo. Oop. It just feels like home. You know, there's, as long as I've got this guitar, I know what I can do, and I don't care what I plug into amp-wise, I don't care what pedals I've got, I don't care where I am. If I've got this guitar, I'm happy. You know, it really it's one of those, this is just me in guitar form. It sounds silly to say, but honestly, I that's literally the way I see this guitar, is because me and this guitar have been through so much. You know, we really have. This guitar has been with me since 2004 and will be with me till the end of my days. And we've seen so much, been through so much. I've slept next to this thing, and I've fallen asleep playing it. And because of that, it's just my best friend. You know, it's always been there when nobody and nothing else has been. You know what I mean? Through either my failings or me not reaching out or people not being there. You know, this has always been there to kind of like, you know, to ease me and soothe me when nothing else can. And so to come down here without this guitar, never gonna happen. Never ever gonna happen. So this guitar is my ultimate #1 guitar. I couldn't be without this ever in my life. It's just words fail with this guitar. They really do. And like I say, I mean, a lot of people would say, well, it's a Mexican 2002 reissue, 60s reissue, you know, but it doesn't mean anything. This guitar is more special than, you know, it's just so special to me, this guitar. And like I just couldn't be without this guitar. It had to be with me. So it's here. And it just sounds amazing. And like I say, this is the guitar I judge all of the guitars by. This is the sound that's in my... This guitar is the sound that's in my head. When I pick up another guitar, it has to feel, sound, and play like this thing. You know, it has to have that same feeling. I'm not talking about the shape of the neck, the radius, the profile, anything like that. Yeah, it's the feel of it. This guitar feels like... It feels happy. It feels... you know, it feels like when you're in company of good friends. You know, you feel safe and secure and warm and happy. That's what this guitar does. It comforts me. And to go anywhere without this guitar would be a big, big no-no. And I'm also going to take this to Nick as well. This is coming on the road trip with the Oswald #1 as well, because, again, I can't be away from it. So this guitar is going to come to the Netherlands as well. So I want Nick to see it as well. I really want Nick to see this guitar. So this is going to come with me, and like I say, this will come with me forever and ever and ever. This is my Rory Gallagher 61 Strat. This is my Stevie Ray Vaughan 62 Strat. This is my Eric Clapton's Blackie. You know, this is the guitar that I feel above all others is me. You know what I mean? You know, this is my main guitar, and I just can't stand to be without it. So yeah, that's why this is here. So let's move on to the next one, which is it was a surprise to me how much I love this guitar. So moving on. Okie dokie, next guitar, everybody, is the Ibanez Gem Junior. Now, this guitar, when I bought it, I thought, because I tried one, I demoed one and tried one in, I think, 2016, and I really liked it then, but I was just kind of like, you know, maybe one day I might you know, try one again. And this one came up for sale in back in England, and when I bought it, I just kind of thought it'd be a really cool thing to revisit for a video, and then kind of keep it for a bit, and then maybe, you know, sell it somewhere down the line. But as soon as I got this thing cleaned up, restrung, changed the scratch plate to the Steve Vai more pearl kind of scratch plate, as soon as I did that, I just fell in love with this guitar, and I'm really shocked of how, like, I can't be without this guitar either. Like I say, all the guitars I've got here are guitars I just can't be without, and this is one of them. There's just something really, really special about this guitar that I just can't think of being without anymore. The pickups are amazing. This is kind of like my humbucker guitar now, really. I love the Floyd. Well, it's not a Floyd, but it's kind of Ibanez's copy. But it's got such a... I love it, because I don't really like floating tremolos, but this is just perfect. And I've never played a Floyd that I actually like the feel. In all fairness, I prefer Kayla's. I go down the Jerry Cantrell route. I actually like the Kayla feel more, but this tremolo, it's just unreal. I just love the... I love the fact you can go crazy with it as well. You know, I love that you do all that stuff, and it comes back. But this is a guitar that I really was shocked of how much I love it, and shocked when I was thinking of leaving it. I was like, I can't leave that guitar at home back in England. I need to bring this guitar with me, and I don't regret it, because I literally just can't think of being without this guitar now. It's like my guitars you've seen in this video so far. This is such a massive part of me now that I won't sell this. You know, this is one of those guitars that I will not sell. I will keep, because I just love it so much. You know, and I really never expected to love a Gem as much as because I've tried Gems in the past and they've always kind of like been okay, but this one really speaks to me. The neck on this thing is fantastic. I love how articulate you can get with them. It's just a wicked guitar, and I love it. And like I said, I just can't be without this guitar. So this is the next guitar along the line, people of Tube. And literally, I think every guitar solo I've recorded recently on my music, on like new songs that I've done, I'm pretty sure every guitar solo has been this guitar. Bar maybe the red Strat and obviously the white Strat appearing in a few, but most of the guitar solos I've done recently on my own music that I've been releasing and whatnot has been this Gem. And it's full of music, this one. I'm so inspired when I pick this guitar up. And like I said, I just can't think of being without this. So I love it to bits. I really do love it to bits. I really want to try the Pia, though. The new Steve Vai signature, the Pia. I really want to try that. Anyway, so yeah, let's move on to the next guitar. But again, this is the I don't know what the word would be. This is the one that threw me a bit of how much I now love this guitar. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Okay, next guitar, everybody, is for those offset moments. This is my Squire vintage modified Jaguar, and I know it says Fender on the headstock, but I did that. But the Squire logo is still underneath it. And again, this is another guitar that, in all fairness, like I say, pretty much all the guitars, well, no, all the guitars, I can't say pretty much, but it was pretty much when I came. But all the guitars I have here are those kind of, you know, it's because I've got a massive an attachment to them, and I just can't be without them. You know, even if I don't play them a great deal, like I don't play this guitar a great deal, to be honest with you, but I just still can't be without it. You know, so this is for when I need that Jag thing. And it just does that thing. And also like the quack. So I had to bring the Jag with me. Then I'll do that. It had to come because again, I just love Jaguars so much, and this one is just one of those magical guitars again. You know, like well, all these guitars are magical. They've all got some magic in them. And this one's just amazing. And it's really, really... I refinished this. This was originally green. And I refinished it white in nitro paint. And it's starting to wear through. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. But there's bits on this where it's starting to kind of wear through the finish now. I haven't reliced this or anything. This is just actual kind of like use and age. And the logo's starting to... Because I did the thing where the logo sits on top of the headstock like Fender used to do. It's not covered over with lacquer. So the logo's starting to chip and flake, and I like it. And it's cracked and it looks ace. And like I say, I just can't be without my Jag because I love it so much. And it just... It's a totally different sound to my other guitars. This sounds totally unique. None of my other guitars sound like this. And this doesn't sound like any of my other guitars, which I love immensely, and it just gives me that option, which I like very much. And when you stick a fuzz on this on the jazz circuit, well, the dark circuit, So that's the that's for when I want my my offset moment, if you will. Like I say, got the Squire, vintage modified Jag, love it to bits, can't be without it. So next guitar. Okie dokie. The next guitar, everybody, is my new / old vintage V6 Icon series Strat. This was a gift from my good friend Bob. It was originally the black, but I've resprayed it to be the kind of like off-white kind of colour. It looks very white here, but it's kind of an off-white. It's like a creamy colour. And this came because, again, this is one of those guitars that I immediately started playing and just immediately clicked with, and that was it. You know, it was a bond beyond. And this is from 2008, this one. It's an old one. So this guitar is unbelievable. It really... It's just unreal. This guitar is unreal. My ears ringing. Yeah, again, and this is one of those guitars that, again, the thought of leaving this behind in England was a big no-no. So I haven't done a demo of this, people of YouTube, because I've demoed the V6 in the past. But I put this question to you now: would you like to see a bit more of an in-depth demo of this guitar? In a video soon. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if you would like to see a bit more of an in-depth view of this, and explain a bit more about it. But again, I couldn't leave this guitar. It had to come with me. The neck on this is amazing. The pickups are amazing. It feels amazing. It just is. Oh my god! It really is. I just couldn't be without this guitar. It's such a great guitar. And again, it sounds a little bit different. In all fairness, it sounds quite close to my white Strat. But it's got a bit more of, it's got a bit less sustain than my white Strat. It kind of like it's between my Jag and my Strats. It's kind of like it still sings, but there's a little bit less in there. But not, but that's why I love it. That's what gives it its character. It's a different thing altogether. So this is the next guitar, everybody. Vintage V6 Icon, 2008. The new ones are nowhere near as good as these older ones. I don't know why, but this is amazing. The neck on this is great. The feel of it, the tremolo, everything about this guitar is just, again, stunning. Absolutely stunning guitar. So, vintage V6 Icon. Let's move on to the next one. Next guitar, everybody, is my gold top Gretsch Electromatic. It's basically a duo jet. And again, this came because I didn't really get a chance to really spend a lot of time with it in England. So it came mainly because I just wanted to bond with it. And my God, have I. I really, really love this guitar. The fact it's a gold top as well with a dark back makes me extremely happy. I just love it. And it reminds me of my other gold top. My other gold top Gretsch, should I say. And again, this is totally a different sound to my other guitars. Like the mini humbuckers in this don't sound like the humbuckers in the Gem or the humbuckers in the guitar you're going to see in a sec. They sound totally different, and I love that. And they've got a real kind of classic sound. And the neck sounds great. It's very vocal. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous guitar. The neck on this thing is amazing. The playing action is amazing. This guitar is just, filth. And again, the idea was like, I didn't really want to leave this. I wanted to bring it with me and really kind of like, you know, spend some time with it. And again, it's one of those guitars now that I just can't see myself being without. I just really, really love it. Is it a guitar that I'll have forever? I don't know. That's where I'm at with that right now. But I do feel at this point in time, I need this guitar with me. It's one of those kind of things that I need it with me. And I love the Jeeb stamped, well, G embossed, or cut out, whatever, tailpiece, you know, trapeze tailpiece. It's just amazing. I love how it's a single volume, single tone. Yeah, what a guitar. Absolutely awesome, awesome guitar. Love it to bits. And I especially love the fact it's a gold top. Because you know what I like, my gold tops. So I love this guitar so much. Love these pickups. Love the way this thing sings. Love the way it inspires me to do certain things that my other guitars don't. I really, really like it. So, Gretsch Electromatic Gold Top, basically a duo jet. Stunning guitar. Moving on to the next one. Okay, people of the gym, I'm going to have to crack on a bit now because I've still got quite a bit to talk about. So, the next guitar you haven't seen yet, so I'm not going to talk a great deal about this, but this is a Columbus 335 replica. It's a bolt-on neck, and this came because I bought this just before I left, and it needed a lot of work doing to it, and I'll explain that when I get to the demo, which is going to be a video very, very soon. I'm gonna talk about what I've done to it, what was wrong with it in the first place, and I really wanted a 335 guitar, like style guitar, to bring with me, and I was going to bring my Heartwood, but then this came up for sale, and I bought this just before I left, and I thought it'd make for a nice little project guitar. And it also made me really kind of work at it, because thinking like, you know, this is the only 335 copy I've got. The other one's 900, basically 1,000 miles away, so I can't get to it easy. So this has to work out. And like I said, I'll talk more about this in the video when I get around to demoing it. But my God, is this a great guitar. I mean, it's brown. I don't know how well the light... It's extremely clean. This is like a 70s, this is definitely a lawsuit because it's got the Gibson headstock and the Gibson logo. This is definitely a lawsuit, and it feels so much like a 66, 65, 67 335. It's ridiculously close. It feels very close to a Gibson. And it sounds great as well. I'm not going to play this because I'm going to wait for the review on that. But it's had a hard life, this thing has. It's had a very, very difficult life. Considering its condition, you wouldn't think it, but it has. It's been battered and abused and beaten, and but I love it. And I really do love it. And these Teisco guitars are so cool. They're just amazing. I love the fact it's a bolt-on neck as well. It's so amazing. And so yeah, anyway, like I say, you'll see more of this very, very soon. I'm not going to talk any more about it at this point in time. I'm going to save that for the vid. But this is basically my 335 fix for while I'm here. So, move on to the next guitar. Okay, people of the tube, cracking along, we have the Zenta Strat copy thing you've seen. This guitar is just amazing. I love everything about this. You've seen it. This was my travel guitar, basically. This is a guitar because it's so small I can play in the front of my van and not have to move anything, so I love it. And with its weird wiring, it just sounds totally different to any other guitar I've got, and I just love it, and I'm hanging it on the wall at this point in time. But it's such a great guitar. And again, this is another one of those guitars that, like, you know, I couldn't leave it. I had such a pull to bring it with me. So yeah, the Zenta Strat thing copy with the 3-bolt neck because one's missing. It's just amazing. This guitar is amazing. I love it to bits, and I am a massive sap for these Teisco guitars. I love these Teisco guitars so much. They're so cool. So the fact that these two were probably made in the same factory is super cool. But I think this is a 60s, that's a 70s. So this has got all the hallmarks of being a 60s Teisco. You know, there's so much about this. Machine heads, tremolo, pickups, wiring. It all looks very 60s to me. Looking at all the Teiscos I've seen, that looks a little bit... That's got more 70s kind of things to it, whereas... But I could be wrong, I don't know. But this definitely seems more a 60s kind of guitar. But I love this to bits. It's just... The burst on it as well is fantastic. It's a really awesome sunburst. It's a real classic, Fender sunburst, really, to be honest with you. And it just sounds amazing, especially when you stick a fuzz on it. And the entire album 5 that I released a while back, that was recorded using this guitar only. I didn't use any of the guitars, it was just this guitar, and it screams. It screams when you stick a fuzz through it, and that's the really cool thing. So that's the Vitysco Zenta Strat. Okay, let's move on to the, is it the last guitar? It is, so let's move on to the last guitar. Okie dokie, people of Tube. The last guitar is a guitar, again, you haven't seen yet, but this is an Alvarez acoustic, and I have to thank my friend Bob again for this one. I bought this instead of my Tanglewood because my Tanglewood, this guitar has basically made me retire my Tanglewood. It was getting a bit beaten. It was a bit. It's time for that guitar to retire. My old Tanglewood guitar is a bit battered and beaten, so this is kind of taking the place as my acoustic. And I had to have an acoustic because I'm recording songs and videos while I'm here, so I need an acoustic, and this fits all the bills. I love this. It's called the Delta. I will do a demo of this at some point. And like I say, it's called the Delta because it looks like, you know, those old kind of Gibson guitars like from Robert Johnson's era. I don't know how much of that I can play because I know you can get flagged for copyright doing that kind of thing. But, you know, it's got that kind of thing to it. It feels very cool. It's got a V-neck, which normally I can't play. But this V-neck on this is really nice. It's like a real soft V and it's really comfy. But this covers my acoustic needs. Yeah, more than I'll ever need. It's just such a great guitar. And again, if I go to when things reopen again, and if there's any open mic nights or something like that where you play acoustic, like I've got my acoustic. It's electric as well, so I had a pickup fitted to it, a passive pickup fitted to this before I left, so I can just plug it in. I don't have to worry about batteries with this. It's just a passive pickup, and it sounds amazing. Like I say, I'll do a full demo of this at some point soon, but for now, Alvarez Delta, my acoustic while I'm here. Absolutely amazing guitar. Love it to bits. That peg's coming out. It's got 10 to 52s on this as well, so lighter acoustic strings, but this guitar is amazing. It's really, really skinny, and it's really, really small, and I love that. And it just looks amazing. I love sunburst acoustics. So, that's all for guitars. Let's talk amps. Okay, people of the Tube, let's talk amplifiers. What did I bring and why did I bring it? So, CR120 because it's awesome, and I again couldn't be without my orange. I bought the Boss Katana Artist as well because it's just. I think it is. I'm pretty sure this is like my perfect amp. Now I'm pretty sure this is my perfect amp in everything about it. I've got the 4-way foot switch as well, and it just does everything I need it to do from the amp, which is just different for me because I normally rely on pedals, but this is just ridiculous. So I bought my CR120 because I have to. I bought the Artist because, again, I have to. And also, the really cool thing about the Artist is if I needed to go and do a gig or I was jamming with somebody live or this, that, and the other, I could just take this and the foot switch, and I'm not missing any effects. You know what I mean? Everything's in here. So all I need to do is take this, a guitar lead, a guitar, the K switch, and that's it. That's all I need. I can do everything with this amp, and I love it. It's got a line out that sounds amazing. It's loud, it's powerful, it's amazing. I love it to bits. So so that's them too. Behind me, as you can see, MG half stack. I had to bring my 900 cab because it's my magical cab, and where I am, an MG is never too far behind. This is my third ever MG Flexi, and again, this is what mainly I play through while I'm here at this point in time. I mean, I always come back to my Flexes, well, my MGs, should I say, because I just love. This is the sound that I've grown up with. I know, you know what I mean. It's just very. I just know this sound. So MG, JCM 900 cab. So moving along to Valve World. So I bought the little Pro Junior here because, again, it's just one of those amps that's really struck a chord with me, no pun intended. But I just love it, and again, I just wanted it with me. I wanted it here. You know, I didn't like the idea of leaving it at home, so I bought it with me. I don't think I'm going to use it a great deal at all, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think I'll barely use it at all. I'll probably turn it on once a month to keep the valves in. I was playing it the other night with the 335 copy, and my god, it sounded amazing. When I demo the 335, I'll show you that sound because it really was cool. But I bought this just because, again, as much as I probably won't use it a great deal, I still love it and can't be without it. And this is one of the first Valve amps that's actually come along that made me go, I actually want that with me, you know, which is really cool. Okay, so the other guitar, the other Valve amp I bought is the Harley Benton Tube 15 down here. And I bought that, again, just because I like it. But also, I have videos planned with this guitar, this amp, sorry, because it's supposed to be like a copy of a Blues Junior, and my friend Nicole actually has a Blues Junior. So we're going to do a bit of a comparison between the two and see how close they are, because a lot of people are saying, like, you know, I've read quite a lot online about these being, I'm just going to turn my MG off a sec, being kind of like very Blues Junior-ish. So we're gonna do a bit of a shootout with the two at this thingy, and I wanted to bring it just because it's, you know, it's just it's another amp that I really like the sound of with pedals. You know, I would like to gig that amp at some point. You know what I mean? It's one of those amps that I really want to try gigging with, you know, at some point. So yeah, so that's why that's there. So that's like Valve World. But say most of the time you'll hear the MG, the Artist, or the CR120. So yeah, that's these amps. Let me show you some others that I have. Another massively important amp for me to bring was my Katana 50. Again, I bought this because it's small and mighty, and I can do everything from this with just a guitar. I mean, I would miss my wah-wah pedal, but I have a foot switch in the back. So if I have to go to a jam session and it's kind of limited space, there's nowhere where this little beast can't fit, and there's no volume too loud for this. This is ridiculously loud, and I've got it set up so I can do everything from a foot switch. I've got all the effects I need set up on the 4 channels, and I can also run my pedal board through this. So if I have a gig where it's a really small place, I can use this. And I decided to bring a 50 instead of a 100. Again, just because of its size, you know, just because it's easier to get this in places, whereas the 100 is a little bit bigger. And sometimes in the past I have struggled kind of finding a place for the 100, even though the 100 isn't massive. There are issues sometimes with space. But, so, Katana 50, this is kind of like my jamming, jam session amp, if you will. And, you know, if that ever happens kind of thing. So, yeah, and again, couldn't be without my katanas. So yeah, that's that. Let me show you the rest now. Okie dokie, on the shelf, people of the tube, we have the Lead 12, which you've seen, Boss Katana Mini, and the new X, Mighty Air there. Again, these are, because these are so ridiculously awesome and portable and battery powered, they had to come just in case I want to go somewhere and actually play the guitar amplified. I can. And so the Lead 12 up there is amazing. That's the scratch plate and the neck from the ST62. Like I say, I'm waiting for the body to be refinned at this point in time. So down here on this shelf, we've got spare leads, spare Marshall Governor, the Afterneath, because I love the Afterneath, Tone City Golden Plexi and Tiny Spring, Dunlop Rotor Vibe, Vox Wah-Wah pedal, Line 6 delay under there, spare strings in the corner with Mr. Pooh there. And that's it, really. So, and that's literally it. Oh, and Snarks. Very important, Snarks. Is there anything else to talk about? No, apart from how amazing Finger Ease is. I love that stuff. I'm a bit addicted to it. It's a bit wrong. Microphones for recording. I don't know if there's anything else to really point out here. But I just love the way the Lead 12 looks on a shelf. I don't know why. I mean, I love playing through it, but it looks really cool there. I don't know why. But anyway. Well, it's because it's a cool looking amp, Dave. That might be the reason. Anyway, so let's move on to the last thing, my pedal board, and then we'll call it a day, people of the tube. Okie dokie, people of the tube. Final thing to show you is my pedal board. So we have the Ditto Looper X2 here. That's going through the effects loop of the Marshall MG or the CR120 or the Boss Katana for looping only. That is the only pedal that ever goes through the effects loop. Everything else is in front end. So I've spoken about this pedal board at length, so I'm not going to kind of go kind of crazy over it, but like I say, it is what it is. So you've got the Line 6 HX effects here, Zoom G 2.1U, which is like the brain, Marshall Governor, Marshall Jackhammer, which is my always on pedal. You know, I don't really ever really turn it off. I've got the Past Effects Chorus Ensemble because it's just ridiculously awesome and I love it. Boss DS2 because it's my favourite distortion of all time, next to the Governor. The Sundial Fuzz by Hubcap John, which is now called the Helios, I believe. But again, this is my favourite fuzz of all time. Absolutely love it to bits. Ibanez Gem WH10. It's all powered by... I don't know how we'll be able to see this, but... I don't know how we'll be able to see that. But there's a Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 2 Plus under the shelf. And that's it, people of the tube. So, that's what I've bought with me. Again, I do have another board actually at home in England, like a smaller board of this, like a smaller version. But I didn't see the point in bringing 2 pedal boards. I thought I'd just bring this one because it covers all bases of what I need for recording live. Again, if the venue is small, like, and I know it's small, when I finally get out to play again, if I can't fit this big board in, I can just take the HX effects off this board and just use that and a wah-wah pedal, and I'm sorted. You know, this is basically a pedal board in one. You know, this is what I used for Dukes Deluder when we used to play with Dukes Deluder. This is what I used. I used that and the Vox wah-wah pedal, and jobs are good and really. So, but I want to be prepared for every eventuality. So this is basically the do-all board, and you know, it covers everything from doing videos to live work to recording to everything I need really. So happy days are there. So so yeah, so that's it really, people. That's what I've bought, and that's why I've bought it. I've got toolboxes over there full of everything I need to repair or maintain all these guitars and amps and stuff like that. So, you know, touch wood though, all will be well for a while. So, so yeah, there we go. That's my pedalboard. That's my amps, my guitars. Okay, people of the tube. There you go. That's all the gear I've bought to France. Why I've bought it. I mean, in all fairness, mainly a lot of the stuff I've bought is because I just can't be without it. That's me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the guitars I've got are because they're a part of me. They're not just kind of a guitar anymore. Same thing with my amps. You know, the CR120, the Katanas, the MG, little Fender Tweed here. The only amp that really doesn't belong is the High Benton, because as much as I love it, I could kind of give or take it or leave it kind of thing. But I bought it because it's a really good little amp, and again, for gigging small places and stuff like that, it'd be really cool. And it has a different sound, and also I want to do certain things next to a Blues Junior with it and stuff like that. But it is an amazing amp. You know, it is a great amp, but it is kind of like my least favorite, if you will, of all the amps that I have here. But yeah, it is a great amp nonetheless. But either way, anyway. But yeah, so that's what I've got so far. I'm sure the collection will expand now I'm here, but we will see. I've got to be a bit mindful. But there is, I keep eyeing up this amp. There is something for sale that I keep eyeing up, and I don't know if I'm going to go for it yet. It's just this weirdo 1970s solid state amp that's for sale like about 10 minutes from here. So I don't know. We'll see, people of the tube, if that happens. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this vid. I hope it's made some kind of sense. I hope you enjoyed like seeing. This is basically my guitar collection, basically for 2020. Just to let you know quickly, I didn't bring the 1962 Fender Strat because I just didn't want to travel with it. You know, I just didn't want to bring it. So what I did was I gave it back to Malcolm, the original owner of the guitar. So that guitar is safely ensconced with him. And you know what a perfect person to look after that guitar while I'm not there. You know, while I'm away. Depending on how things go down here, if I, whatever happens, eventually one day it will make the trip with me. But at this point in time, it stays up in Lincolnshire in the UK, and it's safely ensconced with Malcolm, and who can look after it, and he can play it, and he can love it, the way we both do. So I'd much rather it kind of like be there than just kind of like sat at 78, like at my home in England. Because it can be used then, and Malcolm can play it, and it can be maintained and looked after, which it does need a lot of maintenance and maintaining. That guitar does, because it's so old. It really needs to be, you need to keep a close eye on the thing, because it's a lot of the parts being original parts are a bit iffy, sometimes. But anyway, so the 62 didn't come. The other guitar that I wish I'd bought was my Revelation RTL 59. I feel really crap about leaving that guitar, to be honest with you. I really wish I had bought it, and I didn't. I had space for it, I just didn't think I did. And it wasn't until really I kind of got down here, I was like, I really wish I'd bought it. So I might have to send for that one. I might have to message home and say, can you send my RTL, please? Because I miss it. I really want that guitar here. So yeah, hopefully, you know, I can get that down here at some point. Obviously, there are other guitars I didn't bring. Another guitar I missed that I wish I bought was my Chapman ML1. Idiot, I forgot it. Well, I didn't forget it. I just thought, oh, I can't bring too many guitars. But when I finally got here, I realised I could have bought more than I did. And the Chapman was one of those guitars that I was like and ahhing about. And I really wish I'd bought now because, again, I miss it like massively. I used to play that guitar a lot. And that's another guitar I wish I had here. And I don't, which is very annoying. Anyway, but, you know, that is what it is. I can't do anything about it at this point in time. It is, you know, I can't just pop home quickly and get it, you know, unfortunately. But either way, you know, I have guitars here. I've got plenty of guitars here, and they're all ones I love. You know what I mean? So all's well, the end's well. So but yeah, there's any others I wish I'd bought. Well, in all fairness, I wish I could have bought them all, and same with my amps as well. I wish I could have bought all my amps, but you know, you can't do that stuff straight away. You know, I mean, the van was pretty full as it was, so you know, I need to be kind of like, you know, taking excess more stuff. It was getting a bit crazy as it was. So anyway, people of the tube. Anyway, I'm gonna stop waffling. I hope you enjoyed this vid. I will see you again for another one very soon. I'm not sure what the next video is gonna be, but soon there will be a demo of this gorgeous beast. And like I say, I will show you this obviously through my pedalboard, but I will show you through this Fender. Because this and this, oh my god, that a blues tone to die for. As I say, hopefully it'll come across okay. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. And also, by the way, I will be showing you my friends' guitars as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to it's going to be like a semi-interview thing where we're going to talk to my two friends here, Nicole and Marjo. And we're going to talk to them about their guitars, you know, what they mean to them, and you know, their amps and pedals and stuff like that. And we're going to have like a bit of a sit down and talk about music and whatnot. And you know, we'll do that soonish, hopefully. And I think it'll be a really, really cool video to kind of get their, you know, what they want, and also get them to talk about their guitars instead of me showing you them. I'd like to get them to do it. So that'll be a video soon, people of Tube. So yeah, anyway, until then, have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening, and I will see you again very soon. Have a great one. Goodbye, nothing much of it. Indeed, I can't even speak anymore.